Hello there and welcome along. The Gardener Ben here with your next rose review. I've been really looking forward to bringing you this one because this one really is very characterful and has so much charm to it. So I've been looking forward to bringing you this particular review. The little rose in front of me is a Portland shrub rose, an old rose introduced in around 1860 to 1863. There is also a little bit of confusion about whether this rose is exactly the same as another one. So I'm going to mention two. This one is Comet de Chambord or Madame Boll. There's a little bit of debate on whether they're actually the same rose or whether they are different, but either or, they are very similar. I think you'd struggle to tell the two apart anyway. But I say, bred and introduced from France in around 1860, 1863. This is a really hard-working, repeat flowering old rose, which you're going to really want to grow in your garden, especially if you have a small space. Reaching something in the region of about 4 feet by 3 feet, it's a cracking shrub that's going to come up to a nice dome-shaped plant that's upright, shrubby, easy to handle. It has some lovely characteristics which I'm going to go through with you, which really make my face light up and really make me very happy indeed. These old roses generally aren't great for repeat flowering, and this one is a really hard-working rose with these wonderful sugar pink flowers which are ruffled, deeply textured, packed full of hundreds of petals and fragrance. Right in the very center of the flower, which I'll pick in just a moment, there's a cluster of golden stamens which are really lovely. But you can see this one already, although a tiny little plant, already producing plenty of blooms, flowers coming up above the actual plant itself on large sprays, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 sometimes at a time, and really quite large as well, each bloom measuring something in the region of about 3 to 3.5 inches across. But it really is the texture and the huge amount of petals in this one. The color is absolutely adorable. It's a sugar pink with these lovely violet tones to it. They pick up the light absolutely beautifully, but also it packs a huge punch with the fragrance as well. Foliage wise, a lovely characteristic of this one is a lovely grey green foliage, very matte, crinkled, highly textured, but it's this lovely smoky grey hue to it which I really like. Picks up the tones of the flowers really nicely. This particular rose I would describe as a moss rose. It doesn't really have thorns, and when I cut the stem in just a second and bring it closer, you'll be able to say it's a cluster of tiny little barbs all the way along the actual plant itself. Let's cut this and bring this in so you can see it. I just hate doing this, but it's no other way of doing it. The other thing that's particularly nice on this one as well is on the leaf axil, it has a lovely flash of deep pink, very light red across the leaf axil as well, which is nice. And as you can see here, there's no real thorns to the plant themselves. It's actually more of a mossing or a barbing. All of this will simply knock off if I run my finger up and down it, making the stems completely thornless. They're sort of a burgundy red color, so adding another very attractive dimension to this particular plant. Buds are a very deep candy pink, and they open to this lovely candied pink flower, so with loads of texture, loads of ruffles. If you're familiar with a David Austin rose, the Mayflower, this is very similar in its texture. This has a higher petal count than the Mayflower, but that's the same sort of thing that you're looking for. The Mayflower obviously being the white sport of Susan Williams Ellis, and again a very similar shaped flower, a very similar color combination with the stems and the leaf color there as well. So wouldn't be surprised if those two roses were quite heavily related to this one. This one is really lovely. This is also incredibly disease resistant. It's going to be scoring a good solid 7 out of 10 for disease resistance with myself. The fragrance is exceptional. I love doing this sometimes. Sometimes it just makes me so very happy. I wish you could smell this one along with me. This one is packed full of old rose fragrance. It's a mixture of Parma violets, of peaches, of crisp green apples. It really is lovely. I'm going to be scoring this one a good solid 7 out of 10 for fragrance rating, so 2 7s in a row. 7 for disease resistance, 7 for fragrance rating. I'm not going to be classing this one as a thorn count. I'm going to be marking this one as very low. These do become quite large with time towards the bottom of the plant as the plant becomes woodier, so it's going to be become quite large, about 4 feet tall and around 3 feet wide. Suitable for growing in a whole host of different places in the garden, garden in full sun or partial shade, but a really, really good, hard-working rose that shouldn't be overlooked because of its date of introduction. I say all the way back to 1860, this rose has been grown. So this one is Comte de Chambord or Madame Boll, depending on which you want to search for it. But this is a really, really lovely, high fragrant, high working rose, great for growing in a large container or in a mixed border. I'm really, really smitten with this one. I'm really glad that I've got this one in my collection. Look out for loads more media coming from this one over the next coming weeks and months. I'll see you all again very soon. Take good care now. Bye bye.